Greetings, everyone. Checking my connection over here. Very good. Greetings, everyone, and good evening. Today is Wednesday, so you know what that means. Wednesday's Wellness Wisdom Pearl with Dr. Michelle Clay. I, of course, am Dr. Michelle Clay. I am Amazon #1 best-selling author, speaker, doctor of osteopathic medicine, and certified holistic health counselor and clinical nutritionist, making me your holistic physician who specializes in the release of stress simply and naturally, especially for my burnt out business women, my overwhelmed overachievers, my high strung, high stress, high performers through my coaching programs, blogs, and live streams just like this one. I help you reach your healthy, happy place of harmony so that you can live your free life on purpose and with passion. To begin the process of creating your burnout to balance blueprint, I am here to assist you with a complimentary 15-minute consultation, and you can schedule that at www.freelifestrategy.com www.freelifestrategy.com. Welcome to the broadcast, Dr. Shell 2018 and AM Gully 7. Thank you for joining me on Wednesday's Wellness Wisdom Pearl. So today's Wellness Wisdom Pearl is technology tension to tranquility. Technology tension to tranquility. So let's begin. So I'm going to talk about 5 ways that technology can cause tension and then give you a few simple and natural strategies to help reach a tranquil place in this whole menagerie that we live in of technology. So let's get started. Number 1, remember, I always talk about the harmony of the 7 dimensions of wellness. The first one we're going to discuss is occupational wellness. Technology has caused more workplace or work-related stress. Now, why is that? Because we are more accessible. Always accessible, as a matter of fact, if you choose to be. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. But you have difficulty leaving work at work, especially depending on your job. If people are always wanting to call you, text you, email you, though they may be burning the midnight oil, they expect everyone else to be up burning as well. And then may even have an attitude with you when you do not respond immediately in the late midnight hour, but choose to do so during business hours the next day. So technology can affect work-related stress. Number 2, technology overuse can affect our sleep. Now, why is that and how is that? Because with technology use, a lot of it, especially if you use it just within 20 minutes of going to sleep, then they say the LED lights, that blue light, continues to activate the brain and it can affect some people's sleep. Now, not everyone, of course, because there's some people, they can look at their phone, send a text message, read an email, and fall right to sleep. But the other thing that studies have shown is that technology used within a certain time period of you going to sleep can repress your melatonin. Now, for those who have sleep issues, you may have tried melatonin over the counter. You could just get it from a Walgreens or CVS or something like that. And there are natural ways that you can get melatonin. But they've shown that since this technology can suppress melatonin, that is going to affect your circadian rhythms in the 24-hour cycle. And these studies have also shown that it decreases your REM sleep, which is some of the deepest part of our sleep, okay? The third way that technology can cause us tension and increase the stress in our lives. Relaxation. If you're always on, if you're always plugged in, then it can deter you from mindfulness. It can deter you from searching within yourself, of being quit, of still, of being quiet, of meditating. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share a little story with you, and everyone make sure that you share, because there's some people who don't know the addiction they may have with technology and how it can affect their emotional wellness, their relaxation, or their stress levels. But the story that I want to share with you is that a lot of times I meditate to different podcasts or meditation videos. And when I don't remember to put my phone on do not disturb, it's inevitable. An email is going to come through, a text message is going to come through, there's an alert from Facebook, and Lord knows those alerts are going on off all day. And right when I get into that deep place of really visualizing and manifesting my peace, calm, and my higher and highest goals, beep, interruption. So I'm really technology in this overuse can deter you from mindfulness and your relaxation. And in my case, and maybe in yours, if you use your phone or some other electronic device for your favorite meditation tape, then the technology can interrupt if you do not put on do not disturb. Fourth way that technology can affect us adversely and cause more tension. Relationships. Turn Facebook off. Yes, Romy, turn off Facebook. Relationships. There's something called the constant checker. And the constant checker is the one who's always checking text, phone calls, emails, social media. Many people have more than one social media handle that they have their app on. LinkedIn is sending an alert. Twitter is sending an alert. Facebook is sending an alert. Instagram is sending an alert. Thankfully, my Instagram, it doesn't make a noise. But if you have all these social media platforms, they're constantly going off and you're the constant checker, you're constantly checking them, then there is an association with a higher level of stress with the constant checkers. Now that affects your relationships because even the constant checkers and surveys that they've conducted have said when they're in the presence of family and friends and they're a constant checker, they still feel detached. Another way that technology can adversely affect our relationships is due to if you are constantly checking and you're piped in with your friends and family via social media, text, direct messenger, whatever the case may be, then they found they are less likely to meet up with them in person. The fifth way technology can cause tension, adversely affect us. Physical wellness. I keep checking to see if my ex has contacted me. He hasn't in a week. I still keep checking, and it made you sad. It made you sad. Okay, so how I'm going to answer that is this. If you really need to talk to your ex about something, then pick up the phone and call him. Okay, you call him, you send a message, and then if he doesn't answer right away, and this goes for not just an ex, this goes for anyone, unless it is business. If he doesn't answer right away, then let it be. Now, you can always follow up, especially with business transactions. There are some really busy professionals have tons of email, and your email can get lost in the shuffle. So make sure that you follow up with another message or follow up with a phone call. Now, I've gotten to the point, there's some people that I want to work with in business relationships. And if I kept contacting them, and they did not respond, guess what? Next. Okay. Now, the old people in my family used to say that men were like buses. If you wait on the corner long enough, and I'm not suggesting wait on the corner, but basically, if you wait long enough, another one is coming by. Okay, the time frame may be different. As we know, people who take public transportation during peak hours, there might be a bus, or if you're in New York or something like that, the subway every 10 minutes. Off peak hours, it might be 20 minutes, it might be 30 minutes. But guess what? Another one is coming. This is the same thing if you're waiting for communication from someone and businesses. I have had a bad relationship with my family because I was sexually abused, oh Lord, and physically abused as a child. They surveil my social media when I post any information about child abuse awareness. They send me bad texts, harassing texts. Dr. Shell 2018, thank you for your transparency and for sharing that with us. This is what I will tell you. I don't have a bad ex that does that, but I have people that I'm close to that have bad exes that I know have stalked me via social media. Block, honey, just block. And the thing is, what should I do? Because it affects me. Number one, block. Now, we're going to go on into, forget the fifth one because we're going to be on the spot. We're going to go ahead and go into how you can move from technology tension to tranquility. The thing that is beautiful about social media, because it can be a blessing, it can be a curse, it can help us, it can haunt us, is that they have all kinds of privacy settings. And so, for instance, on Facebook, there are some people that I am not even friends with that I blocked because they don't need to see what I'm posting. They don't need to be in my business. I just tried my best to eliminate any negative energy that can come in my circle. I only want my circle to be positive, encouraging, empowering, and healing so that I can help and serve others and impact them in a greater way. So Dr. Shell 2018, put these privacy settings on. Hey, Dr. Jarrett, put these privacy settings on. I applaud you for having the courage to be transparent and share your story, share your experience when it comes to trauma, both abuse and sexual trauma. And your story, you having the courage to do so, is going to help others come out of the dark and into the light to get the help and support that they need. There's such a big stigma around that, and people feel ashamed and they isolate themselves. So when you have the courage to do so and share your story, Dr. Shell 2018, you keep doing it. But boundaries is what we have to create with technology, because at all costs, when you have a stress release strategy, once you have your peace and calm, you have to protect it. You have to protect it like a fortress. Not so much here, but in the Caribbean, anyone who's been, what do you see? You see some brick walls with some broken bottles at the top. Someone has the courage to come and try and scale that wall. Guess what? They're going to get all cut up. Okay. So it deters them from coming in and infringing on your private domain, your peace and your calm. So block them. Block them. When there's a particular post that you want to put out, then put those privacy settings in. And I want to encourage you, Dr. Shell 2018, to keep sharing your story. When we come out of the dark into the light, then it's more and more healing for us. This process of healing, releasing stress, and a lot of stress and anxiety is caused from childhood trauma. When we begin the process of doing that, it is a daily practice. It is a daily process. And why is that? It is a daily process because there can be triggers. And so it sounds like to me that your triggers are your family. And so what you really need to do is focus more on your healing, because obviously your family is not ready for a true, whole, divine healing. Because if they were, then they would deal with it head on. Now, I saw something before that says fear. Now, a lot of people know fear and use the demonic, false evidence appearing real. But we're going to say fear. Face it, encounter it, and rise. And so that is what you are doing, Dr. Shell 2018. You are facing it, you are encountering it, and you are rising. But your family is not choosing to do so. They are not choosing to do so. So Dr. Shell 2018, if you want to talk more about this one-on-one, I hope that this little nugget, this juicy nugget was helpful for you. Then please schedule a 15-minute consultation with me. You know I cannot type on this phone and be engaged all at the same time, but it's www.freelifestrategy.com. www.freelifestrategy.com. Okay. Hey, cousin. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, cousin. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me, Dr. Jarrett. Thanks for joining me, Manny St. Victor, MD. All right. So, moving from technology tension to tranquility, we talked about boundaries. Now, in that those boundaries, we talked to Dr. Shell 2018 about setting privacy boundaries, and I talked a little bit earlier with boundaries. Put on the do not disturb for a time. Set a boundary that there is a particular time in your day where there's no technology. Okay, no phone, no email, no text, no I'm scrolling Facebook, I'm scrolling Instagram. I'm glad you're scrolling Instagram today at this minute so that we can share this time together. But set up that boundary. Also, have an area that is an electronic free zone. An ideal place for that is the bedroom. You might need to just go ahead and get the old school clock that has you actually touch it to push snooze, so that you won't have the temptation of looking at an alert when it wakes you up. Okay, have a electronic free zone. And the third way, since I was talking about how technology and its overuse can adversely affect our relationships, then schedule a meeting. Okay, just schedule a meeting with someone, with your family, so they don't see your forehead and the front part of your head. They can see your eyes. Be tuned in. Put the phone down. Erica Badu's got this little song. I love it too. And she says, I can make you put your phone down. Put the phone down. Have some eye-to-eye contact. If you're not in person and can't schedule a meeting like that, then use the technology to pick up the phone and call them. Let them hear your voice. Hear their voice, their laugh, their tone, their pitch, their intonation. Share on a deeper, more personal, intimate level. Let me tell you, some of my friends that I haven't spoken to in years, like for instance, my college roommate, we don't talk often, but when we do, it is as if we are still living in the apartment together. And it just fills my soul and it rejuvenates me and I feel refreshed. Reason why? That is someone that I really care about and who really cares about me. And she knows me, and there's a comfort that you can get. Hey, Docs Outside the Box, thank you for joining the broadcast. There's a comfort that you can get just having that interaction that you cannot get through direct messenger, you cannot get through text message, and you certainly can't get it through email. So Docs Outside the Box, since you joined just a bit late, the topic today is technology tension to tranquility. Thank you for the hearts. And I went through recap 5 ways that technology causes tension and increases stress. Number one, it affects our occupational wellness, increase workplace stress or work related stress because we're always accessible and it's difficult to leave work at work. Number two, it can affect our sleep. And I talked about melatonin and how studies have shown that even within a couple of hours of using technology before sleep, it can suppress our melatonin and therefore our circadian rhythms, and we have less REM sleep. Number three, relaxation, because we're always on. If the alerts are going off, then you have difficulty really having and practicing mindfulness. Yes, thank you, Dr. Shell 2018. Number four, relationships, especially for the constant checkers that every time the alert's going off, they are checking. If it's not going off, they're looking. Why didn't I get an alert? Why didn't he text me back? Why didn't he call me back? I'm waiting for this email. And those constant checkers find they are detached from their friends and family, even when they are in person. And the fifth way I didn't discuss was it affects our physical wellness. You're constantly on the computer, on the phone, bend down like this, then you can have an increased incidence of neck pain and back pain. There's a stretch on the ligaments. And you have a more sedentary lifestyle. So one way you can use technology to move to tranquility, get an app or set your alarm for every hour, have some type of movement. So that is our Wednesday's Wellness Wisdom Pro with Dr. Michelle Clay. Thank you so much for joining me. Once again, I am Dr. Michelle Clay. I am Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine, certified holistic health counselor, and clinical nutritionist, making me your holistic physician who specializes in the release of stress for the busy businesswoman, the overwhelmed overachiever, and the high-strung, high-stress, high performer through my live streams like this one, my coaching programs, my books, and my blogs. I help you reach your healthy, happy place of harmony so you can move from technology tension to tranquility so you can live your free life on purpose and with passion. So until next time, same place, which will be Monday for Mindset Monday with Dr. Michelle Clay. Once again, don't forget www.freelifestrategy.com to schedule your 15-minute complimentary consultation. I want you to be well. I want you to do something well for yourself. I challenge you today. Turn the phone off. Put on do not disturb for a particular time and see how you feel. Have a stress-less evening. Goodbye, everyone.